On the menu for my lunches this week are these Sriracha Lime Chicken Bowls. They are a combination of chicken thighs, broccoli, rice, and my new current food fixation, Japanese sweet potatoes. Clocking in at under 500 calories per dish with 41 grams of protein each, these meals are an awesome, filling way to help you maintain a calorie deficit for if you're trying to lose some lbs. Here's how you make them. Step 1, I made some rice. For this recipe, you'll need 2 cups or 300 grams of cooked rice. I always make extra to keep in the fridge because I think it's nice to have. Next comes the sauce. Place a bowl over a scale and add in 3 tablespoons or 45 grams of lime juice, 3 tablespoons or 45 grams of sriracha, about 2.5 tablespoons or 50 grams of honey, 2 teaspoons or 6 grams of garlic powder, 2 teaspoons or 6 grams of onion powder, and then 1 teaspoon or 6 grams of salt, and 1 teaspoon or 3 grams of pepper. Drop in a whisk and mix that around until all the seasonings are incorporated with the honey, sriracha, and lime juice. A tablespoon of oil in here is a nice addition as well if you're not worried about adding the extra calories. For the chicken, you'll need 2 pounds or 908 grams of boneless, skinless chicken thighs. I trimmed away any excess fat or skin and then poured over about half of my sauce and mixed this in with my hands to get every nook and cranny of the chicken covered. If you set this in the fridge for an hour or two to marinate, that would be awesome. But if you're like me, you're going to ask yourself, do I really want to sit around and wait, or do I want to be done with this so I can go do fun stuff? And I'm guessing for many of you like myself, the answer will be the latter, so you just move right along and start cooking. Line a large sheet tray with foil for easy cleanup, spray it lightly with some oil, and then lay the chicken thighs down on it with a smooth side facing down. Give each piece plenty of space on the pan to prevent overcrowding, and this will go in the oven at 400 degrees Fahrenheit or 204 Celsius for about 30 minutes. Now we move on to the vegetables. For the broccoli, I use frozen florets because it's cheaper, easier, and even if it's fresh, I don't want to eat it, so who cares? For the sweet potato, we're going to need 2 small or 1 large Japanese sweet potato that weighs 400 grams. Now, these might be a little tough for you to find, so you can use any variety of sweet potato you wish. I just like the texture and the flavor of the Japanese ones. Whole Foods almost always has them. The potato gets cut into a large dice. I'm shooting for cubes of about a ½ inch in size. Next is 4 or 5 stalks or 75 grams of green onions. I cut them in half to separate the green tops from the bottoms, and then I noticed there was still an egregious amount of dirt in these even after I washed them, and that annoyed me greatly. I know some of you are going to say, what's a little dirt going to hurt you? You'll be fine. And I need you to ask yourself this question. What if it was poop? Because that's the question I asked myself, so I spent entirely too much time rewashing them to get every speck of dirt out, and then I cut them into thin slices, keeping the whites and the green tops separated. After I was completed with all my chopping, I transferred the potatoes into a large bowl and drizzled over 1 tablespoon or 15 grams of olive oil and a little bit of salt and pepper for seasoning. I want to note that if you wanted to save yourself from having to make rice in this recipe, you could just double the amount of potatoes that you use. Personally, I greatly enjoy the combination of rice and potatoes, which is why I use it in recipes often. These get spread out on a sheet tray and placed into that same 400 degree Fahrenheit oven for about 20 to 25 minutes. As I wait for things to finish up in the oven, I can tend to the broccoli. I put this in the microwave for a few minutes at 50% power to thaw it out. I'm not trying to cook it here, just make sure it's not frozen. Doing this will speed up the stir fry process and allows you to drain away any excess water that is released. I'm going to dump that thawed broccoli into the same bowl I tossed my potatoes in, add in the scallion whites, and then 1 tablespoon or 15 grams of oil, and a bit more of salt and pepper for flavor. That gets tossed around to mix, and then I'll set it aside until I'm ready to cook it here in a bit. Around the 20 to 25 minute mark on the chicken cooking, I pulled it from the oven and flipped it over to get browning on both sides. This will return to the oven for an additional 5 to 10 minutes. I did the same thing with the potatoes. Pulled the tray from the oven and tossed them around to get equal browning. These should be ready to go in another 5 to 10 minutes as well. While those 2 trays were finishing off in the oven, I heated up a large skillet over medium-high heat and I added in my broccoli and scallions. The goal here is to develop a bit of color on the broccoli and lightly cook it to boost its flavor and maintain its texture. You must keep in mind that when you reheat the meals in the microwave, you are essentially doing another cook. So erring on the side of undercooking the vegetables during your prep portion of cooking can lead to better textures when you are actually eating the meals. 3 to 5 minutes in the skillet is all it should take here. Part of the reason I thawed the frozen broccoli in the microwave is to help this step cook faster. Now while that broccoli was cooking, my chicken finished up, so I pulled it from the oven and it's been resting on the stove. All of this chicken is going to get cut into a medium to a large sized dice to roughly match the size of the potatoes I cut from earlier. Once you're done with your chopping, we can begin assembling everything together. Place your skillet back over medium heat and add in your chicken and sweet potatoes first. You'll need a big skillet for this because we've got a lot of food in here, so mix everything together until it's well incorporated and then add in the remainder of your sauce. Mix once again so that the sauce is well distributed throughout that pan and coating each of the components. And lastly, you'll add in your 2 cups or 300 grams of cooked rice. The reason that I wait to add the rice until after I've added the sauce is so that the rice doesn't hog it all from the other ingredients. Give it a big stir, taste test, and adjust with salt and pepper as needed, then we're ready to plate. This meal makes 5 servings, so you can lay out 5 of your meal prep containers and divide the contents of that skillet evenly between the 5. As long as you're eating all 5 of these meals over the course of the week, eyeballing your portion sizes is fine. It will all even out in the end. If one dish has slightly more or less food than another, it doesn't matter because by the end of the week it will all average out to be the same. But if you wanted them all to be perfectly even, you would just need to weigh the total amount of food, divide that by 5, and that number is how much you put into each dish. To finish off, I sprinkled over the green onion tops and garnished each meal with a lime wedge. Each serving of these Sriracha lime chicken bowls has about 498 calories with 41 grams of protein. Once they've had the chance to cool, you can throw on the lids and move them into the fridge where they will last for up to 5 days. When it comes time to reheat, it's as simple as taking a meal from the fridge, removing the lime, and then tossing it in the microwave for about 2 minutes. Then I give the top a nice squeeze of lime juice, mix it together, and it's ready to eat. I've been doing some of the big boy meal preps with over 1,000 calories per meal, but I haven't been doing many on the other side of the equation, so I wanted to include this one that had less than 500 calories. I think that most of us know that in order to lose weight, we need to maintain a calorie deficit, meaning that we need to intake less calories than our bodies expend. And while on the surface, weight loss really is that simple, coming up with strategies to achieve that goal is where it gets harder. In my opinion, the goal for weight loss shouldn't just be to lose the weight, but to create eating habits that allow you to maintain that weight loss following the dieting period. Finding meals that help teach you these eating habits and allow you to sustainably eat is what's going to lead you to success in the future. That's where I think meals like these Sriracha lime chicken bowls can really help out. They're nutritious, filling, and tasty, so you'll be excited to eat them. The full written version of this recipe with all the instructions and ingredients listed is published on my website, mealprepmanual.com, and that is linked down below in the description. So whether you're looking for a meal to help you along with your weight loss journey, or you just want something to bring with you to work for lunch, these Sriracha lime chicken bowls can be your answer. For other meal prep recipes just like this one, YouTube thinks you'll like the ones on screen now. Sayonara, babies.